Hello, this is James Daly, and today's video we're working on preacher chords and shouting chords in the key of G. This is meant to be part of a 12 video online resource for you and me to just practice chords in all 12 keys for preaching and shouting. The goal of this channel is to learn, for me, is to learn 12 songs or more in all 12 keys fluently and without mistakes or hesitation. And we're going to do as long as it takes. We're going to work through these keys as long as it takes for me to get better at playing and for you to follow along on my journey and also learn a couple of things from me as well. Because and disclaimer, I am by no means a professional. I don't claim to be the best. I'm amateur at this. I live down the street from Kevin Powell. I grew up around, that whole family, Pastor Hubert Powell, and now their mom, Pastor Jackie Powell. I know all them, grew up with them, but none of that talent rubbed off on me. None of it. And I hung out with them for the better part of my childhood. I grew up around a lot of great musicians. But, the time I grew up in the 90s, we didn't have the internet like we do now. Nobody was showing us stuff online, and it was hard to get those good people to sit down with you and show you stuff. They wasn't showing you nothing because they didn't have time to. And, you was left to your own devices. And, if you played something wrong or played something old school or, it definitely didn't sound updated or whatever, nobody was there to really help you. But now, we have online resources. But by the time that happened, I was grown and busy working and raising a family and all this other kind of stuff. I didn't have time to practice. But now, well, I actually did, but I was wasting time. And so now I turned off the TV, get off my phone, and I'm using this YouTube channel as an accountability tool to record and document my journey. So a few years from now, I could take a look back at my progress and answer unanswered questions about learning in all 12 keys. A lot of people say, oh, just learn your keys and just do it. They don't give you a blueprint or a program to do that. They just tell you to do it. And there's a lot of questions and a lot of frustrations and things that go on and happen in the process. And so I'm seeking to answer those questions for myself, since nobody will answer those things for me. But anyway, enough talking about that. In this video, like I said, this is about the key of G, preacher chords, and shouting. Different things you can do with preacher chords and shouting in the key of G. All right. And so we're going to start with the most basic, and we're going to go from there. Also, watch all the way until the end. OK, I got a really special drop for you. You're going to like it. You're going to love it. It's going to turn heads. OK, if you learn it, it's going to learn in every key. It's going to turn heads. I guarantee you. So do me a favor and watch all the way to the end. Don't just skip around. Like, watch the full, because I'm telling you, I'm showing you some good stuff here. Like I said, I'm not the best, but it's enough to get you functional. I'm functional. I could play anywhere. Okay. I could play with the best of them. I'm not as good, but I could play. I could keep up. All right. And even in me not being fluent in all my keys, I haven't used the transpose button in like 20 years. So it's I just have to get better. And so that's what I'm doing. I want to learn multiple songs in all keys, which I haven't done yet, and I need to do. All right. So let's get to the first chord, and it's in G again. So let's go. It's getting a little higher, so we got to change the way we do some things. All right. So let's go. All right, so that was the basic walk up. All right, most of us know it, but for those of you that don't, we're going to start from, the more basic, and then we're going to build up to more advanced stuff. Okay, so what was that? All right, so B in the bass, A, D, E flat, G, C in the bass, B flat, D, E, A. All right, and D flat in the bass, B flat, D flat, E, G. D and C in the left hand, G flat, B flat, C, F. All right, and E in the bass, D, G flat, A flat, D flat, F in the bass, E flat, G, A, D, G flat in the bass, E, A flat, B flat, E flat, and G in the bass, F, A, B, E. All right, so that's the most basic thing, the most basic walk up. All right, so let's go on to progression 2. All right, progression number 2 is an elevated version of the basic walk up. All right, that's simple, right? So what was that? That's B and A in the bass, D, G flat, A, and D flat. Just walking it up. So C, B flat, E flat, G, B flat, D, D flat and B, E, A flat, B, E flat, D and C, F, A, C, E. All right, and E and D, G flat, A flat, B and E, F and E flat, G, A, C and F, G flat and E, A flat, B flat, D flat, G flat, G and F, A, B, D, and G. All right. All right, so that's progression number 2. On to the next. All right, progression 3 is yet another elevated version of the walk up. All right, let's go. All right. Now, also, there's a part in that can be used for shout as well. Okay, and I'll show you which portion of that walk up can be taken and used for shout. All right, so what was that? All right, so B, E flat in the left, G, B, D, C and E in the left, A, C, E. All right, so D flat, E in the left, G, B flat, D flat, G flat to E. All right, so D, E, G, A, B, D. All right, and E, D in the left, G flat, A flat, B, E, F, E flat, G, A, C, F, G flat, E, A flat, B flat, D flat, G flat, G, F in the left, A, B, D, and G. All right, another way you can do it is, sorry, there's a glitch. All right, the other way you could do it is all that, you know that. You can just walk it up like that. All right, so let me spell it out again. So B, E flat, G, B, D, C, E, A, C, E, and then so D flat, E in the left, A flat, B flat, D flat, G flat, D, F, A, B, D, G. All right. All right, then all the rest is the same. Okay, so 2 ways you can do that first one, right? All right, or you can do it like the. Okay, then they all end with this. All right, So the way you can use it in shout is just those last two notes. You could riff on that and add that. We'll show some more shouting later. You can add that to those shouts that I show you later, and then you can add a little riff on it. Let me get it right. Or you could. Or. All right. This reminds me of some Twinkie Clark stuff. Also, a more recent one, a Ricky Dillard song, actually written by our very own Pastor Rob Smith in New Haven, Connecticut. He's from my state, and he wrote the song here locally. I know Professor Stephen Hawkins recorded it originally. Then it got real popular. Stephen's my guy too. Oh my gosh, unsung talent in our states. In our state, there's so many, and so Rob got on a call with Pastor Rob got on a call with Ricky Dillard, and they did it from like 3 albums ago. I think the Choir Master album, I Won't Go Back. And they did. But you can also use it in shout. So you could take that and you could use it in shout. And what was the lick? Because we're going to be using it later. So G, E, and D, or G, D, and E. Okay, so. You can add that in there too. You could build with that. So D, C, I already showed you this, but here it is again. So G flat, B flat, C, and F. And then back to. Just play around with it. Okay, so that's how you can use it in shouting, with just those two chords right there towards the end. And let me just play it through one more time so I can show you what we did. This is one way, right? Shouting. All right, so that's progression number 3. On to the next. All right, so progression 4 is a nice little one to throw in there every now and then. All right, so what is it? The preacher's preaching. All right, so what is that? All right, B flat, A flat, B, D, and G. E flat in the bass, G, B flat, C, D, and F. B in the bass. It's almost like it's outside the key. B, A, D, E flat, G. E in the bass, A flat, C, D, G. A in the bass, G, C, D flat, F. D in the bass, G flat, B flat, C, and F. And then the lick. So the lick is B flat, B, D, E, and then the chord. G and F in the left, C, E, A in the right. Just bring it down to the B, D, G. All right. And you can twang it, so the D to the E. You can also do the run like that too. B flat, B, D, E, D. All right, that's it for that one. All right, pretty easy, right? All right, on to the next. All right, progression number 5. We're getting more advanced now. So this is a even more elevated walk up. All right, and so I'm gonna play it slowly, then I'll break it down. All right, let's go. Imagine the preacher preaching. Right. He's going in. Right. Right here. All right. So let's break that down. All right. So the first chord. All right. So B and A in the bass, E flat, G, A, and D. All right. C and B flat in the bass, E, A, B flat, D. D flat, B in the bass, E, G, B flat, D flat. All right. And then, oh, hold on, lost my place real quick. I'm sorry. Let me start from the beginning. All right. There we go. All right. So D, C, G flat, B flat, C, and F. All right. And then E flat, C, and D, F, G, B flat, D. All right. E, C, D, G, A flat, C, and D. All right. Next one. F, C, D, E flat, G, B flat, D. All right. And then we go up again. We're going to do something like this. It's a nice fat chord. G flat, C, D, and E in the left. G flat, A, B flat, D. And the last chord. All right, so G, C, D, F in the left, A, C, D, E, G. The C goes down to B in both hands. Everything else remains the same. All right. All right, that's progression number 5. On to the next. All right, progression number 6 is one that clings to your ears, and I use it quite a bit. Again, it's even more elevated version of the walk up. All right, because I mean that's pretty much what the preacher chords is, and even shout. It's a lot of it is walk up, right? So yeah. All right, so here we go. All right. So what is that? All right. So G and F in the bass, B flat, D, F, A. All right, A, G in the bass, C, E, G, B. All right, B flat and A in the left, D flat, F, A flat, and C. All right, so C sharp, F, B, E flat, F, B flat. All right. So C, you could also put the third in there too. So C, E, B flat, D, E, A to G. Actually, keep that third in there too. So C sharp, E, B flat, D sharp, D flat or C sharp, E, G. All right, and so that's D, G flat, C, F, G flat, B, or we'll just double it up too. So D, G flat, B flat, C, F, G flat, B flat. Yeah. All right, so E and D, E, G flat, A flat, B, F and E flat in the left, F, G, A, C, G flat, E, G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat, and then we go down to the. All right, and so that's F, A, C, E, A, and then F, A, B, D, G. And you could twang it. So to the D, to the E. All right. All right. On to the next. All right, so progression number 7 really clings to the ears. We getting more advanced now. I like to pull this out there in drops during those moments of high praise after the preacher just said something really on a high note and the crowd's going sick, stuff like that. You probably can use it in call and response too. I would say you probably could get away with it. So here goes. All right. So what is that? All right. So E flat in the bass, C, F, B flat, F in the bass, D, G, C, G in the bass, D, F, G, A, C. All right. A flat in the bass, E flat, F, G, B flat, B flat, F, G, A, C. It's like you're going into E flat really quickly. That's basically what it is. And then you switch over. All right, and so that's D flat, B, F, G, B, and E flat, E flat, C, B flat, F, G, B flat, and D. All right, B flat, A, G, D, E, A flat, C, A, G, D flat, F, G, and C. All right, A flat, G flat in the bass, C, F, G flat, B flat. All right, and so G and F, A, C, E, G. Cool one, right? It's a nice one. All right, so. All right, that's progression number 7. On to the next. All right, progression number 8 is a cool one. What it does is it goes down in chromatic fashion from G to G, and it uses every single note in between. All right, so that's why it's so fun to use. All right, you can use it as a drop. You can use it one by one, as the preacher is doing his thing. You call and response with it too. All right, so let's play through it, and then I'll break it down for you. All right. Right. There's also another way you could play it as well, and it would go like this. All right, so let's break all that down. Okay, so the first note, just the basic way, the regular way, it would be G in the bass, F, A, C, E, G flat, E, A, B flat, D, F, E flat, G, A, D, E, D, G, A flat, C, E flat, F, G, B flat, D, D in the bass, F, G, A, C. All right, D flat, B, E flat, F, B flat. So C in the bass, B flat, D, E, A to G. B, A, D, E flat, G. B flat, A flat, C, D, G. A, G, C, D flat, F. A flat, G flat, B flat, C, F. So G, F in the left, C, E, A to B, D, G. All right. So that's the first way to do it. I'll do it slowly. All right. So. All right. That's the first way to do it. All right, so the only thing that changes in the other one is the first few notes. And then all this remains the same. All right, so the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first 6 notes are different chords for the first 6 notes. All right, so what are those chords? So, all right, so G, B flat, D, F, A. You can play them this close together, or you can play them down here too. G, B flat, D, F, A, F sharp, B flat, D flat, E, and A. F, A, C, D, E, G. All right, then. All right, E, A flat, D. C, D, and E, and G. All right, E flat, G, C, D flat, F, D, G flat, B flat, C, and F. And everything else is the same. I already showed you this. So the only thing that changes is the first 6 notes. So you could either do it this way, right? The first 6 notes, you could do it that way, or you can do it this way. Lost my place. Sorry, lost my place. Sorry again. All right, so you can start over. Okay, so see, and then all the rest of it is the same. All right. So that's pretty much progression number 8. So we just go through it one more time and then we'll move on. All right. So here it goes. And you could space it out too. You don't have to play it all together, right? You know, preacher's preaching. You could be doing that. And then you can switch over to the right. See. All right, on to the next. All right, progression number 9 can be used for preaching and for shouting. What do I mean? Let's show you. Okay, really simple. Imagine the preacher's preaching. Mm. Mm. Preacher's preaching. Mm-hmm. All right, so what was that? All right, so A in the bass, A, C, D, G. B in the bass, A, B, D, G. C in the bass, A, C, D, G. E in the bass, A flat, C, D, G. Then you loop it around again. A in the bass, A, C, D, C. B flat in the bass, G, B flat, D flat, E, G. B in the bass, A, D, A, B, D, G. Alright, and E, A flat, C, D, G. Alright, and so you would just loop that around a few times. Alright, so that's how you would use it in preaching. Very simple. You can also use this in shout. Alright, and remember that lick we showed you earlier? So that's G, E, D, or G, D, E. Bum, bum, so, bum, bum. That's how you do. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And then you do. Bum, bum, bum. Right, so you would do that lick. All right, so I'll probably do it a little bit lower. So you start with this. Right, so that's how you would use it in shouting. Really basic, okay? Here's another way you can use it in shouting. Just take the first few chords and loop it around. Like, or you can all right, and what is that? So you already know those chords, so that's all you're doing. So the A, C, D, G, B, A, B, D, G, C, Okay, so this chord you can change a few times. So you already know this one, right? This version. So E, A flat, C, D, E, and G. But you can also switch it with this chord. All right, and so that's B, D, F, A, or this chord. So that's 3 different ways you can use it there. All right, you can switch off each time you get to that point. So that's G, A, the thumb, B, D, and G flat. So that one. Or you can. So 3 ways you can use it. So you can do the D and the E and the D on the left hand. All right, and sometimes you can just do. So what was that? So let's spell it out. A in the bass, A, C, D, G. B in the bass, A, B, D, G. G, B flat, D flat, E, G. G flat, A, C, E flat, G flat. Right, and E, D, G, A, B, D, G flat. So. So that's a couple ways you can use it in shout. Now, often I'll take it and go to the 1. And to transition into 1, you can use that chord as well. So that's D, C, G flat, B flat, C, and F. Remember that chord because you're going to use it to build into what we do on the 1. All right, but you can also walk it up to the 1. So you can do like a. Remember that. Or you can invert it so it won't be so high. Either or. You can still do it there. And it'll still sound fine because you're going to switch off into something else. So what is that? So A in the bass, E, A, and C. B in the bass, D, G, B. C in the bass, E, A, C. So D flat in the bass, G, B flat, D flat, F sharp to E. So D in the bass, G, A, B, and D. And then you can that's E, D, E, G flat, A flat, B flat, B, excuse me, B, F, E flat, F, G, A, C, G flat, E, G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat, and G, F, G, A, B, and D. Now, when you get to the 1, you can just start doing something like this. Now, I don't know if you remember in a few progressions ago, I showed you the more tight walk up. And if you remember, had that little Ricky Dillard, Twinkie Clark thing in there, that No, I Won't Go Back. Right? Same thing, just inverted, right? So when you get to the 1, when you finally get to the 1, or you can also invert it there, right? So that's the, let me show you that real quick. That's E, D, G flat, A flat, B, E, F, E flat, G, A, C, F, G flat, E, A flat, B flat, D flat, G flat, and G, F, A, B, D, and G. Okay. All right. So let's get back to that. So E. So then we would go back. All right. So, remember we showed you this. I told you to remember that. Okay. So, we're going back in there. Then we immediately start the licks, right? All right. So what's that? So, E, B flat, E, G, D flat, F, B, F, G, D. Could also invert it. Right, and same thing with that too, right? It was just inverting it. So let me show the inversions real quick. Okay, so the first, well, we did this one already. Know that already. The other one I did was this. So E, B flat, C sharp, E, G, B flat, F, B, D, E, G, B. And then, right, you already know this one. And another one. Right. So, G, B flat, D flat, E, G, B, D, E. Yeah, you can play around like that. You could do that during shout too, you know. That's another inversion too. So B flat, D flat, E, G, B, D, E, and G. All right. All right. I think that's everything for that one. We're going to do even more. So on to the next. Progression 10 is going to show you a little bit more with preaching and shouting. All right, on to it. Let's go. All right. Progression number 10 is another easy one you can do for preaching and for shouting. All right. So how does that go? All right. So let's go. Do it another way. Right. Or you could do it this way. That's the more basic way. All right, so that's pretty easy, right? And so it's A in the bass, C, E, and G. B in the bass, B, D, and G. C in the bass, C, E, and G. D flat in the bass, B flat, D flat, E, and G. Oops, sorry, that was wrong. Let me play it through. Sorry about that. All right, so D in the bass, A, B, D, and G. All right, E flat in the bass, A, C, E flat, and G. E in the bass, G, A with the thumb, B, D, G flat, G flat, yeah. So A flat, B, D, F, and A. Then go back to it. And then the other way, you can do it that way too. All right, so that's A, C, E, G, B, B, D, and G, C, and C, E, G. No, sorry. C, A, C, G, D flat, C, E, G, right? D, B, G, the same stuff from before. E flat, A, C, E flat, G. You can do it several ways. You could be more full with it or add to it or be less. So A, D, G, flat, E in the bass. You could add the B. Alright, so A, B, D, and G, flat. Or all three like we already showed you back to the beginning. Alright. Also, you could do it like this. Old school. Right. So A, C, E, G, same stuff we've already done. B, D, G. So the C, E, G goes both with the C and the C sharp. Alright. D, B, D, and G. E flat, A, C, E flat, G. Or you could walk it down like I always like to do. So G, B flat, D flat, E, G, F sharp, A, C, E flat, F sharp, and back to that chord. All right. So. All right. So ways you can use it for shout. You can just play it round and round like that. And then you can hold it here too. You can hold it there and then do the lick that I showed you from before. And then twang it. So you already know these chords, but let me say it again. So A flat, B, D, F, A flat, right? And A, C, E, G. You could twang it from the D to the E, right? And then the lick G, E, D, G, D, E. All right, so and then you could go to the one, right? And then you already know that. You know, we done that before, right? And you can also bring it back to that, right? It's the wrong one, sorry. So to bring it back to that, because that's going to what, the 2? Yeah, the 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5, 2, right? So 5 note brings you back into the 2 if you want to go there, and then the 4 brings you to that 1. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting it wrong. Am I getting it wrong? Yes. The 5 and the 6. So the 6, brings you to the 2. Right? The 6 brings you to that 2. And the 5 brings you to that 1. All right, so if you want to get to this part, let's play this. If you want to get to that. Then you can add that 7 in there, the D, that makes it a little bit more full. All right, so that's ways you can use progression 10 in preaching and shouting. All right, now the next progression I'm going to show you, please stay tuned. You're going to love this one. And we're learning it in every key. And it is a head turner, I'm telling you. Every time I play it, they're like, whoa, what's going on over there? And so stay tuned for that. Now will be our last one for the day. All right, on to the next. Let's go. All right, progression 11. You're going to love this one. All right, so that one you would use as a drop. I would use it like towards the end. The preacher's about to sit down. He just said something crazy. The crowd's about to shout. And you just throw this drop in there. Do it once a set. And you can't overuse it because this is a head turner one. So do this like once a month or something. But yeah, this is something I learned way back in the 90s by one of our organ legends here, and I want to put it in every key because it's a special one. And so let's break that down for you. All right. So A in the bass, F, B flat, D. All right. G flat in the bass, E flat, A flat, and C. E in the bass, D flat, G flat, and B flat. D in the bass, B, E, A flat. All right, C in the bass, B flat, E flat, G. B flat in the bass, A, D, G. A in the bass, G, D flat, F. A flat in the bass, F, B flat, D. G in the bass, F, A, C. F in the bass, E flat, G, B flat. E flat in the bass, C sharp, F, and A flat. C sharp in the bass, B flat, E flat, F sharp. C in the bass, B flat, D, and F. B flat, A flat, B flat, C, E. A, G, C, D flat, F. A flat, G flat, B flat, C, and F. G, F, A, C, E. The C goes to B. So F, A, B, E. All right. So I'll do it slowly. And with these notes like this, instead of walking it down, you can always go a tritone up to the D. Right. Anytime you have stuff involving those dominant chords or anything with a tritone in it, you can just go a fourth up every other, and it will work. Switch keys. You see how I switched the key there? All right, so it's pretty simple to do that. So just go a fourth up instead of if it's a walk down like that. I switch the F. There you go. All right. And that's in G. Okay, so. All right, so that's progression number 11. I thank you for tuning in and watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. And I say it over and over again, I'm not a professional. I'm just here to help. I'm showing you what I know. We're helpers one unto another. And also, this is a bigger project, which we're almost done. We got 4 more videos to do, and we'll have all 12 keys for preacher and shouting chords. Just to have as an online resource for you and for me, so we can work on our keys and get these down pat in every key, so we won't be caught off guard by these tone deaf preachers. I've had a preacher once, he was just going in every key, every other sentence he was in a new key. Had to follow him. You know, and at that time I was just doing basic stuff, finding the basic stuff, and just running it. Sometimes just got to run that walking bass, that walk up that we showed, that progression number 1. Just do the first 4. If it's in D or an E, just do the first 4 until you try to get him out and get him up. And if he's in E somewhere, you can't play it E that good, and you do those first 4 chords, right? And E flat, and you get him up. I mean, in E, and then get him up to F. Because it's an easier key than E, right? For most, right? So yeah, I'm just here to help, and so like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, take care.